Hello, yogis. I am Mariah from Rooted, and we're here with a 15-minute, gentle, a little bit playful flow. You won't need any blocks or bolsters. I like to sit up on a blanket when I'm in a cross-legged position, so I have a blanket. You're welcome to grab a blanket or a cushion. And if you're interested in any longer flows, check out Patreon, and the link will be down below. All right, so let's get started. Go ahead and arrive on your mat. If you don't have a mat, that's okay. Arriving fully, sitting up on something, if that helps you be in this cross-legged position. Feeling the weight of your body on the blanket, weight of your hands and your knees. And what do you want your intention for this practice to be today? Bring to mind whatever it is. And then breathe that into your body. And we'll start flowing. One more deep breath. Letting it out with a sigh. Breathing in, placing that left hand by your left hip, your right arm. Send your right arm up and over. A nice right side body stretch. Don't force that right hip down. Just let it naturally drop down. You can bend into that left elbow if you need more lengthening. And on an inhale, both arms up. Exhale, right hand by right hip, left arm up and over. Letting that left hip drop down with no force. Both arms up with an inhale. Exhale, right hand to left knee. Left hand goes behind you. An inhale gets you tall. An exhale, twist. Let each movement be in the spirit of gentleness, in the spirit of playfulness with yourself, of experiencing your body as it moves, where it's tense, where it's tight. One more breath here. And on the exhale, we'll switch sides. Left hand, right knee, right hand behind you. The inhale gets length first, and the exhale makes the twist. You're intending to look over your right shoulder. It doesn't matter how far you do or don't get. Go to where it is comfortable for your body. Take that responsibility for your well-being. Listen to where it wants more and listen to where it wants less. One more breath here. And now we're going to try to come into half lotus. So if half lotus isn't accessible to you at all, go ahead and just stay in this cross-legged position. Otherwise, try to get your right ankle somewhere in the vicinity of your left knee. You might really be able to do half lotus. That's awesome. If not, your knee might be popping up like mine is. Totally fine. So your best half lotus with the right leg on top. And let's place our fingertips behind our head. And we're going to lean to the left. And breathe in and exhale, lean to the right. One more time to each side. Inhaling brings us up. Exhaling leans us. Inhale up. Exhale, lean. And on your inhale, come up and switch sides. So left side now should be on top. If you were backwards, then just go backwards. And try for that half lotus, your Ankle is probably somewhere around your right thigh. I know the last one I said knee, that's going to be a little bit harder. So bringing it up here on your thigh. And hands behind your head. And again, that exhale leans us. That inhale brings us up. And exhale, lean to the other side. And come on up to center, release your leg. And then come on to all fours into a tabletop. Move that blanket or block or cushion aside if you were sitting up on something. And we're going to take through some cat-cows and then a cat-cow variation. On the inhale, your tailbone and your crown come to the sky while your abdomen moves toward the floor. On an exhale, you round your tailbone first, and then round your back and squeeze it all in. And an inhale brings you back to cow. And an exhale brings you back to cat. Now cross your right hand. Bring your left a little bit closer to the center and cross your right hand over your left so your wrists are crossed. And on an inhale, you're gonna bend your elbows while you go into cow. And the exhale, straighten your arms and round your back. Adjust your hands on the mat as you need to for stability. One more time. And then switch sides. So now your left arm is crossed over the top. And breathing in, really bending those elbows, getting that cow full expression. Exhale. Cat, really pressing into those palms, tucking it all in. One more. And press back to child's pose. Hips to heels. Knees can be close together or farther apart. Forehead to the ground. Walk your fingers out a little bit to get farther into the shoulders. Taking some nice, easy breaths here. Notice where you might be holding any tension, any self-judgment about the movement or expression of your body, what it looks like, feels like, can do, can't do. One more breath. And start to walk your hands forward. Let your hips rise up, but keep your chest low. And keep walking forward onto your forearms and your elbows, letting the front of your hips come down into Sphinx Pose. You're pressing into your elbows, out of your shoulders, pressing into your palms. Neck is long. Now, if you are able, press into those palms to any degree to rise the elbows up. Only till it feels good in your low back. Squeeze those glutes just a little bit. Don't go where it feels pinching or painful. Stay lower or stay in Sphinx if you need to. And on an exhale, come back down to Sphinx. And again, press back to child's pose. So hips walking back to the heels. Come on up to tabletop, tuck those toes, and send your hips up and back for first downward dog. Up and back, that upside down, letter V. Ears between the shoulders, you're pressing in toward that first finger knuckle, that space. Think of it as that space between your first finger and your thumb. It's where you want most of your weight to be. You can pedal out your legs, bend one knee and then the other. Find that expression that feels good in your hips, in your hamstrings, in your calves. And then step the right foot over the left. You can adjust where your left foot is at on your mat. Feels comfortable to you. Holding here, breathing deep in your belly. Feeling the stretch. Inhale, bring that right foot back and switch sides. Cross the left over the right. So both feet are on the floor, pressing into those hands, those palms, pressing out of your shoulders, not forcing yourself to be in any specific shape, moving toward your expression today of this pose. And one more breath. And return your left foot back to standard downward dog variation. And as you exhale, begin to walk your feet toward your hands. Once you reach your hands, take just a moment here in a forward fold to release your head, release your hands, let everything be heavy. Let it all sway. And then slowly rounding up vertebra by vertebra. Crown is the last to come up. And from here, open your feet to the side. Let's say about 3 feet-ish apart, what feels good to you. And then turn your heels in. And if you notice that this is too wide of a stance, bring it closer together. And your toes out. We're going to come down into goddess pose. Toes are out. Make sure your knees are tracking over your toes, regardless of where that's at. Make the adjustments. Tuck the tailbone. And bring the arms up into the cactus arms. Breathing here. Move side to side. Just feel into that side, just each side. That motion of moving. Might feel some burning, some stretching. And then come to stillness, and we're gonna lift one heel and then the other heel. Let's start with our right heel. Right heel comes up. You stay on your right ball of your foot, left foot's down, and slowly lower it down and switch sides. Lower it down, switch sides. Lower it down, switch sides. Lower that one down, and then let's pick up both heels to your degree. Arms here at heart, might wobble. Play with the pose, play with your balance. And set them down. Rise all the way up, turn those toes so they're slightly in, the heels are slightly out. Widen your stance. Again, if that feels better, let's take a forward fold. So those glutes go to the back of the room and your chest comes down. Let it all be heavy. Again, playing with that sway, that motion the body wants to have. Nice and gently walking your hands up your legs. And step to the front of your mat. We're going to get down to the ground again. Come up on the balls of your feet. Hands out in front of you, fingertips pointing straight out, shoulder height. And we're going to slowly lower down, hips to heels, keeping your heels up. Up to the best of your ability. If that's not in the books today, then get down to the ground to a squatting position, how you'd like. Widen your stance here. Okay, I'll turn so you can see me a little bit. We're going into a Yogi Squat. You might be up here on the balls of your feet. You might have a block underneath you, and you might be able to get down to your heels. So wherever you're at, find that squat position to get into your hips. And we'll take 3 breaths. You'll feel this working your feet, your ankles, the front of your legs. And then from here, just release and allow your sit bones to touch the ground and rock back slightly. So you're coming up with your knees at a 90 degree, your arms sending out towards your legs. And you don't want to be rounded. Try to get a little bit of length with your sternum. A little bit of rounds, totally fine. And we're going to just hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and set your feet down. Gently roll down. Hugging that right knee to your chest. Sending that right knee across your body. Right arm opens up like a wing. Your right knee's dropping down to the left hand gently, helping gravity. Intend for your right shoulder to stay on the ground and look out over your right hand, unless that hurts your neck, and then you can look straight up at the ceiling. Breathe into any area that you feel tension or tightness. A nice deep breath. And the exhale releases. 1 more breath. Inhale, gently come back to center. Hug that knee and send it down, switching sides. Hug the left knee in a little bit. Send it across your body, down toward the right. Right hand gently on the left knee. Left arm open like a wing. Looking out over your left hand or up at the ceiling. Breathing into that tension, that tightness. And the exhale releases. One more breath. And then gently roll to your back for our final resting pose, Savasana. Your feet are mat distance apart, flopped open, palms facing up. Breathing deeply into your belly. Allowing yourself at least a few minutes here to rest, to center, to integrate all that you're doing, all that you will do. Take this moment to gather that energy, gather that calmness, that clarity. Maybe just the opportunity for quiet and rest. Allowing your body to stay as it is for as long as you would like. When you need to get up, when that time finally comes for you to get up and move on with your day, do so mindfully by rolling to your side and pressing yourself up. With our hands at our heart, for clear and loving intentions, especially for ourselves. Our hands at our mouth for clear and loving communication, especially with ourselves. And our hands at our forehead for clear and loving thoughts, especially toward ourselves. Thank you for practicing today. Namaste.